Hello, Patriots. I'm at Restored Republic via a GCR update compiled by Judy Byington. Trust the plan. Privately owned U.S. incorporated government bankrupt shuts down on Saturday, January 31st, 2026. America's new constitutional republic goes live on Sunday, February 1st, 2026. Global currency reset. Gold-backed currency goes live on Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Meanwhile, Trump announced no more income tax. Judy note, trusted sources have declared that the plan never changed. From information contained in this update, we could easily conclude that the American Republic's restoration to concepts of the original Constitution via a global currency reset from its very beginning was set to take place on Saturday, January 31st, Sunday, February 1st, and Monday, February 2nd, 2026. The deep state cabal's Federal Reserve, BlackRock, and global banks had long planned for Saturday, January 31st, 2026 to be the date for an engineered demolition of the fiat US dollar that was sure to result in collapse of the global financial system done in order to enslave humanity under a fiat digital currency prison where the bad guys had complete control over your life. Not going to happen right now. While all global financial systems were ago, the global currency reset was live while the emergency broadcast system was primed for activation for the 10 days of darkness to begin. On Monday, January 26th, FBI Director Kash Patel announced in 6 days the U.S. government will be shut down due to a financial crisis. Why? Because Saturday, January 31st was the cabal's final kill switch date for the global financial system. Insiders have confirmed that years ago, deep state puppets in the Federal Reserve, BlackRock, and global banks had planned an engineered death of the fiat US dollar along with collapse of the global financial system for the end of January 2026. They would then be able to enslave humanity under a fiat digital currency prison where the deep sters had complete control over your life and finances, even telling you when, how, and what you could spend your money on. In the next days, watch for sudden bank glitches and withdrawal limits, plus wild swings in the stock market, then a halt. This would result from deep sters dumping their fiat assets before the lights went out. What they didn't expect was that just prior to February 1st, Trump and the BRIC nation's quantum financial system would be online worldwide, gold-backed and unbreakable. On or around January 31st, expect the switch. Old debt-based slavery erased, accounts reset with massive prosperity packages for we the people. Silver has dramatically revalued. Trillions in hidden vaults support the QFS, and 209 nations embraced independence and free energy. There was one downside to the government shutdown. As pointed out by FBI Director Kash Patel, the last time they shut down, gold and silver jumped to new all-time highs. But if you're holding other assets like stocks, you need to be careful because we're heading into a total data blackout. You could also expect power and communication outages labeled as tests. In reality, this would be a cover for integration of the quantum financial system on the new Starlink satellite system. Watch for JARA activations in February. Income taxes abolished. IRS dissolved. Federal Reserve ended, replaced by gold-backed Treasury treasures and a flat sales tax on non-essentials. Debt forgiveness sweeping forth mortgages, credit cards, and burdens zeroed in the coming Jubilee. Redemption centers stand ready as revaluation of currencies near an imminent public launch. First notifications and payouts for Tier 1 and 2 have already began rolling out with historic 100-hour windows extending into late January and early February. The quantum financial system proceeded under secure military oversight. BRICS alliances, Swiss groups, and U.S. Space Force partners ensured unbreakable integrity. Prepare for your appointments. Verify exchanges through official channels only and avoid all scams. Monday, February 2nd, 2026 will be remembered as the day the Matrix broke. Not because everything changed instantly, but because the illusion finally collapsed. Nisara Jisara QFS on Telegram. The lies about debt, about money, about your worth. They've built an empire on those fictions. Nisara Jazer is not a theory anymore. It's structure, it's tech, it's law, and it's about to become visible. On Monday, February 2nd, 2026, you'll see encrypted alerts tied to your national ID or phone signature. First-wave biometric wallet login open across verified nations. Partial debt reconciliations appearing as system recalculations. Global emergency communication drills disguised as public safety tests. The media will spin.
The governments will hesitate. But the people, we will be ready. The time is locked in. The vault is primed. And the future, it's already arrived. EBS alert. On Saturday, January 31st and Monday, February 1st, 2026, every phone on the planet will be hit with a loud, unmistakable alert signal. It will be an intense, piercing sound that will wake you up whether you like it or not. The signal will be transmitted directly from Starlink satellites, bypassing traditional media channels that are controlled by the elite. This means you won't need to rely on your local news or social media for updates. The truth is coming directly to your phone. There's no way for the globalists to censor it. Saturday, January 31st, shutdown detonator. Why the next 4 days could freeze the U.S. economy and trigger global panic. Mr. Poole final chapter on Telegram. The clock is ticking down to January 31st, the cabal's final kill switch date. Insiders confirm this is no ordinary deadline. It's a detonator they've planted for years. An engineer collapsed to enslave what's left of humanity under their digital prison grid. But the White Hats flipped the script. The next 4 days, starting right now, are make or break. Why January 31st? Deep state puppets in the Fed, BlackRock, and global banks have been quietly positioning for a controlled demolition of the fiat dollar system. Leaked docs show emergency protocols activated. Massive treasury dumping, liquidity drains, and cyber false flags blamed on Russia or hackers to cover the real move. Total shutdown of ATMs, credit cards, and trading platforms. They want panic in the streets, and so martial law locks in and their CBDC nightmare rolls out unchallenged. But here's the truth. They don't want you to know Trump's plan is in motion. Military intelligence has seized key nodes. The quantum financial system is already online in shadow mode. Gold-backed and unbreakable on or around January 31st. Expect the switch. Old debt-based slavery erased. Accounts reset with massive prosperity packages for we the people. The elites are terrified. That's why media blackout is total and distractions. Fake war. Celebrity nonsense are at a max volume. What to watch in the next 4 days? Sudden bank glitches and withdrawal limits. Early signs of the freeze. Stock market wild swings then halt. Cabal dumping before lights out. Power comms outages labeled tests. Cover for QFS integration. Arrest waves ramping up quietly. Pile traders vanishing. This isn't fear porn. It's the final phase of the storm. The deep state is cornered, lashing out with their last weapon, economic Armageddon. But they lose. We've seen the proofs. GMO flights full. Tribunals active. The military's in control. Stock up now. Cash for a few days. Food, water, meds, ammo. Tell your circle. The old system dies, so the new republic rises. Nisar Dara isn't coming. It's here. Activating. Trust the plan. God wins. The next 4 days decide everything. Stay frosty. Stay united. Stay loud. Where we go when we go all. Dark to light. Boom. Weekend coming. Monday, January 26th. Full alert. Trump convenes emergency White House meeting after QFS attack. The final stage has begun. John F. Kennedy Jr. on Telegram. On January 26th, 2026, something massive unfolded inside the White House. With no press coverage, no leaks, and no delay. In the early morning hours, President Donald J. Trump called an emergency classified meeting deep beneath Washington. The reason? A direct cyber attack on the quantum financial system and Nisara payout protocols. A final act of sabotage from a collapsing global elite. The attack wasn't random. It was an elite operation targeting financial routing channels tied to Tier 2 Nisara accounts. The funds were being redirected through offshore blind trusts masked as green energy investments. But the real cover was deception design using ESG frameworks and backdoor access that only IMF insiders and central banking cartels could deploy. It was an inside job. Trump responded without hesitation. He locked down Washington airspace, activated military protocols, summoned the most powerful military intelligence and treasury figures into a secure skiff beneath the White House. Phones were shut off. Hardlines only. Documents were hand-delivered in sealed black folders marked red. The operation was C-named Final Ledger. This wasn't just a crisis response. It was a green light. Trump had waited for this trigger. Inside that war room, a decision was made. The system goes live with or without the deep state's approval.